In the heart of the Horn of Africa, Ethiopia is walking a dangerous diplomatic tightrope with its neighbors. Its most important ally, at least for now, isn't the US, China, or even the African Union. It's the United Arab Emirates. But what happens if that alliance ends? The UAE has poured money, drones, and diplomatic muscle into Ethiopia over the past 5 years. In return, Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has aligned with the Emiratis' Red Sea ambitions, often at the cost of relationships with Eritrea, Sudan, Egypt, and even Somalia. But history shows that UAE's alliances are rarely permanent. They're strategic, transactional, and when they no longer serve the Emirates' interests, they're often abandoned. Let's look at the pattern. First, Eritrea. During the Yemen war, the UAE turned Assab port into a military hub. But as soon as the Yemen conflict cooled down and UAE reconciled with Iran, Eritrea was left in the dust. The base shut down, the investment gone. Next, Libya. Libya was supposed to be the UAE's easy win. They poured millions into warlord Khalifa Haftar, guns, drones, even Russian mercenaries, all to take Tripoli. But then Turkey intervened. The cost skyrocketed. And in 2021, the UAE quietly pulled back, leaving Haftar stranded. Game over? Not quite. Because now, June 2025, Haftar's back. Only this time, he's not fighting for Libya. He's the UAE's new hired gun in Sudan's civil war. That's the UAE's strategy. Discard, recycle, redeploy. Yesterday's failed proxy becomes tomorrow's mercenary. And if they can drop Haftar once, who's to say they won't do it again? From Somalia to Sudan, Yemen to South Sudan, the UAE has backed presidents, generals, separatists, only to walk away when political winds shifted. So, where does that leave Ethiopia? Right now, Ethiopia is all in with the UAE. But what has Abu Dhabi actually gotten in return? Broken promises? Ethiopia talks tough on the Red Sea but delivers nothing. And behind closed doors, our diplomatic sources confirm UAE officials have issued ultimatums to deliver or lose funding. That's why Abiy recently made a desperate European tour to France and other countries. Abiy wasn't shopping for investors. He was begging for life support because when the UAE's monthly Casby injections stop, his government can't pay the military for 90 days. Not the drones, not the salaries, not even the palace lights. 90 days, that's the shelf life of this regime when the money stops. And here's the catch. UAE is actively working to improve relations with Saudi Arabia again. The two Gulf giants fell out in the past, but since Donald Trump's recent visit to both the two countries, they've had some undisclosed incentives to mend ties now. With regional tension stabilizing and economic cooperation back on the table, there's a strong likelihood that the UAE and Saudi will drop their proxy-based competition across Sudan and the Red Sea. And when that happens, Ethiopia's utility to the UAE drops to near zero. It may not happen in 1 week, but it's coming soon. In Abu Dhabi's playbook, when usefulness ends, so does the alliance. Even worse, the UAE hasn't gotten much in return from Ethiopia. No real control of Red Sea access, no solidified regional influence. Just rhetoric, loud, often aggressive rhetoric from Ethiopia threatening its neighbors over Red Sea access. For the UAE, this is a bad deal. And bad deals get cancelled. This wouldn't be the first time an Ethiopian government collapsed after a foreign patron stepped away. In the 1980s, the Derg regime depended heavily on the Soviet Union. But when the USSR collapsed and aid dried up, so did the Derg's grip on power. EPLF took Eritrea and the TPLF swept in Addis. The rest is history. Today, Abiy Ahmed may be facing a similar situation. The UAE is not the Soviet Union, but its pullout could have equally dramatic consequences. To make things worse, Ethiopia is isolated regionally. Internally, Fano isn't just resisting anymore. They are building a shadow government, full military councils, smuggled drones, and recruits flooding in daily. In Tigray, the TPLF is building new trenches, rearming brigades, and whispers of Eritrean back channels are getting louder. Addis Ababa is cracking. Unpaid salaries, ministry walkouts, and opposition factions doing the unthinkable, uniting against Abiy. Economy is in free fall. Inflation? Try 34% and climbing. Foreign reserves? Barely 3 weeks of imports left. This isn't chaos anymore, it's coordinated collapse. And when the systems fail, the UAE won't send rescue funds. They'll send evacuation planes. Prime Minister Abiy still has time, but not much. He must urgently repair ties with neighboring countries. He must push for internal peace before international backers start looking elsewhere. And he must understand that the UAE's loyalty is based on utility, not based on principle. Diplomacy takes time to fix, and Abiy might not have that luxury. Rebuilding trust with neighbors and restoring internal legitimacy is not just smart policy, it's survival. If you found this video insightful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Let's keep asking the hard questions.